Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel. So, I had a question asked of one of our viewers, asked me about how I would go about setting up a Courseplay route to sell grain from our main farm silo here at our main farm to a sell point where you have to back up the tractor and the tipper into the sell point, very similar to how our grain storage tip point here is situated here on the main farm. And you know, it's not as straightforward as just selling grain via Courseplay through a tip point that you can just kind of drive straight across and around. It is a little bit different, and I'm going to show you how I would go about doing that here on my farm. And as a matter of fact, I have been experimenting with this myself because I'm going to be selling grain via Courseplay here in some upcoming episodes. So one of the very first things that I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and fire up the JCB. We've got our JCB connected to our brand new Joskin tipper that we purchased a few episodes ago. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the tipper from the tractor. Yep, I said disconnect the tipper from the tractor. It will simplify things so much in the process, especially backing up and everything. So we've done that. We'll bring up Courseplay. You want to make sure that you're in the very first option here, and this is titled Grain Transport Loaded Start. So you want to make sure that the very first one is illuminated green. And we're just going to go ahead and get in the cab, and then we're going to start our course recording, and we're going to proceed driving. Now, I have found here on Lawfolds that there is a direction to the main sell point that's a little easier to get to, and it's a little more forgiving with regards to your tractor and your tipper and getting hung on gates and fences and all that kind of stuff. And so it really doesn't matter what you decide to do. The course that I'm taking is around and through here. Your mileage may vary depending on how accurate you are with driving through gates and that sort of thing. But if you have a problem and if you don't leave enough room, then obviously your tractor and your tipper will eventually get hung up on that gate and cause you some problems. So I'm going to go ahead and edit the video, and I will see you once we get to the sell point. Okay, so once we've arrived at our sell point, we're just going to make a nice big arching turn here and come around and kind of get square with our drop point there and pull forward just so that our tractor and our tipper and everything can get lined up. And I'm going to just spin the camera around so I can see from the front of the tractor, and then I'm going to press the reverse option, and we're going to go ahead and reverse into the sell point. Now, one might think that without a trailer on here, you kind of need to visualize where the trailer would be, where the rear door of the trailer would be, etc. You can't do that, because if you were to stop where you might think the trailer, back of the trailer is, it's not going to work. You actually have to back the tractor all the way up and onto the tip point here. And then we're going to press the forward option, and I will go ahead and just spin my camera around here and get it pointed in the right direction again, and forward gear, and back we go. So we're going to go back the same way that we came, and I will meet you back at the main farm. Alright, now as we proceed back to our main farm, I'm just going to make things a little bit easier for the tractor and the tipper and the AI driver by driving around the backside of our barns here, just because it's kind of a sharp U-turn to kind of get the tractor and the tipper lined back up, and so this will make things a little bit easier, because I'm sure if you're going to sell grain this way, you're going to want to rinse and repeat and just have your AI Courseplay driver just continue to sell until everything is gone. So we're just going to pull up here right behind our Joskin here, and then we're going to go ahead and stop the Courseplay recording just like that. Now, I've already got this course set up. You can name it whatever you want to name it. I have it set for Sell Grain to Highlands Highlands grain and or sell grain to main store. So obviously the main store was the course that we just completed. So I am going to now just get rid of that, and I'm going to go ahead and connect the tractor to the tipper, because obviously we need the tractor on the tipper to sell our grain. And just like that. And then let me bring Courseplay back up again, and I'm going to load my course. They're basically both the same, and then I'll just go in here and set 4-wheel drive, and yeah, that's good. Oh, if you're going to do this on Lawfolds, and if you're going to follow the course the way I did around the back of the barn, you'll want to set this refuel at gas station maybe to be below 20% versus always, because what'll happen if it's not set for below 20%, your Courseplay driver will stop and refuel each time when he passes a fuel point. So that's what we want to do. We're going to sell some barley. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a little bit of a tip. Sometimes when you load a Courseplay course up, especially for selling grain, the tractor and the tipper wants to basically run. It won't stop and it won't fill as you want it to the first time around. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start it back here. We're going to do, like I said, we're going to do barley, we're going to do drive course, we're going to start from the nearest waypoint and do drive course, and the tractor and the tipper will pull up and it will fill with barley. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually stop it. I'm going to do drive now. That way I only want to sell a small event or a small amount for this demonstration purpose. And he's going to go ahead and follow our course as we have it set, and I will see you once he reaches the main store. Alright, so our AI Courseplay driven driver has arrived at the main store, and so he or she, not sure who's driving right now, will just follow the course that we set and make its sweeping turn around. It'll come up, it'll get lined up with the world, and we'll go ahead and spin our camera around so that we can follow. And it's a him, so he is backing up, and he will back up to the sell point. And you'll notice down in the Courseplay HUD in the center, below center of the screen, you'll see in just a moment it'll say sell point reached. Or tip trigger reach, sorry. And then he will dump his barley, we will get our money, and then he will return back to the main farm. And I will edit the video, and I'll see you back when we get back to the main farm. Alright, and we've reached the main farm. And he will just go ahead and circle around the main farm area just as we had recorded the course, and he won't stop to get fuel because it's we've got more than 20% fuel remaining, so he'll just go ahead and come on around, and he should, if all is working correctly, he should line himself back up with our grain silo tube there, and then go ahead and start filling again with barley. If we had much more, he would just continue to repeat the process. And there we go. So that's it. I'm going to go ahead and just stop the driver there because I don't want him to go and sell the barley. I will dump it back into our silo. But I hope that helps you, and if it has helped you, please consider leaving a like. And if you're not a subscriber of my channel, I would appreciate it if you would give me a subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. And not going to do a whole lot of Courseplay tutorials because, quite honestly, there's a lot of Courseplay tutorials already out there for FarmSim 17, but this question came up, and I thought I would just go ahead and record a short video to show how it's done and make it available to all. So thanks for watching, and I will see you again very soon back here on Lawfolds. Take care. Bye-bye.